Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of PPC in the Trenches. I'm with my co-host Francis Suarez. How you going today?
I'm good. It's Friday, so despite a little busy morning, if you just think about the day, it's Friday, so it's coming to slow down eventually. And
Yeah, I think so.
headed
It's already
towards the
2 p.m.
weekend. Yeah,
It's already 2 p.m.
yeah,
here. It's
your
probably
time.
midday where you are. So on the 24th.
Yeah, it's midday.
Yeah, it's this 2 weeks has flown past very quickly for me. All right. As I was preparing for our research, so this is a show for businesses, small businesses, and marketing managers who are not in the trenches, who want to know what's actually working without being, tied up in too much of the day-to-day PPC stuff. Cool. So I think as I was doing the research, Francis, I noticed that we have a lot of news on AI rankings, SEO, AEO, GEO.
SEO. Yeah.
I think we should have a AEO, SEO practitioner here too.
Definitely, because there's a lot happening. I've seen some SEO getting affected by this AI. I mean, I've heard some SEO comments about how this AI stuff is affecting their performance. So
we have to get him
I
here
agree.
though. I mean, as in like
True.
a third host.
I agree. I
Yeah.
agree because it just SEO affects PP's the paid search
time.
side as well. Yeah.
Big time. So me and you got to
Totally.
both be on the lookout for it, I think.
Yeah.
We'll find someone who's not too self-centered, who's not too self-promotional, who wants to serve the community. But, we're going to shout them out at the end and they're going to get their little bits and videos and all that. But it just can't be all about what they're doing and try to put themselves in a positive light, all that shit. Hate that shit. Oh, I don't want a co-host like that. But if we do end up getting somebody like us, it'd be good to have the expertise because I can't speak on it. I'm not in the field. So
Same.
we'll have to skip those topics.
Yeah.
All right, but there's big news coming out for PPC this week. It just came out this week for the 17th of August. Really big, special, shifty update. Do you want to give us an update on that one?
Yeah,
Francis?
sure. We've actually lightly tapped on this like 2 episodes ago, if I'm not mistaken. But it's only lately that it has been like making a lot of like fuss in the community. Even the Google support, they're very much keen to get a hold of you and just to discuss this. And just in the past week, there's a commotion that happened on LinkedIn where like someone posted that they felt like it was a critical update and that it sort of like kicked off a whole thread with the Google Ads liaison Ginny Marvin, and a lot of questions popped in there, and then she was just answering. So
gonna
for
share my
those who
screen.
don't know, yeah,
I'm
sure,
going to share my
sure.
screen and then everyone can see what this is about. Yep. So this is
Sure
the
thing. Yeah.
this is the contention, but you might have to give a bit of update or context on how they got to here.
Yeah, sure. For those who don't know yet, starting August 17th, Google's making a change to their smart bidding, specifically for Target CPA and Target ROAS. So if you have any campaigns that are flagged as limited by budget, those the ones with the budget constrained budget, Google would behave more. The word they use, the support use, is predictable. They would be behave more predictably by pushing towards your target goal. So let's say, for example, you do have a campaign with the target ROAS of 10, and then it's outperforming it like 15. And then what will happen after August 17 is the campaign would, instead of like it pushing or maintaining the 15 ROAS, it would push more to get that 10 ROAS. And what happened is, again, people jumped into LinkedIn, kept commenting, asking Ginny, and she clarified that that's how it's gonna work. So Google's just tightening up how targets behave once campaigns hit that budget constraint status.
Yeah.
They clarified though that it's only affecting campaigns with limited budget status. So if your campaign is not limited, nothing changes. And I don't know.
But
There's
it's very
a bit
hard.
of like,
So-
true.
So look, to me, it's like Google is the one that are writing the rules. Right. So who's to say, I mean, me from coming from Shanghai, like we came from a bloodline city of just dodgy, shifty, scammy kind of people, right? That's what the city was known for many decades ago, right? So everything's skeptical. Google is the one that's making up these rules of who's limited budget, right? And imagine I have this bit and it's overcooked now, but I have to say here, if you go to auction and both the people who are on both sides of the auctions all trying to make you pay more, like making you pay more and making the opposite person pay more, they're talking each other up, right? Like, how can the bidders even win? So today so just say there's three of us bidding for chiropractor in Bexley or whatever, right? That's where I live. Today I'm limited by budget, right? And I go up double the budget, whatever. Tomorrow they're limited by budget.
You're right.
Right?
And
So how is it going to win? So before, when I started this thing 7 years ago, and we were like, that automated bidding was already out, right? Like a Target CPA. Okay, so I said, why would I tell Google that I'm happy with conversions at $10 a lead, for example, right? They're just going to keep bidding until it gets to that. But it never happened. Yeah. Well, so I was like, oh, good. They're not as bad as. But now they're saying, yeah, we are gonna do it like that.
They are. Yeah.
So that's why I have to bring the screenshot up again. I think this guy articulated so beautifully. I'm just have to bring the screenshot up again. This one here. He said that we've always given smart bidding freedom to explore. Right.
True.
And discover new customers and find efficiencies. So we're trusting the machine to find efficiencies. And he said that unless you're Coca-Cola, everyone's limited by budget.
I agree. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, like, how can anyone, like, I don't need Genie or anyone to tell me, like, doesn't matter how you do your mental gymnastics and your verbal gymnastics, get out of it. There's no way to get out of it. How are you going to get out of it? Like, you're charging everyone more, and now you know how much we can accept. That's how much you're going to bring that down until you get to that. So anyway, that's as soon as I saw that, that's how I felt. But I mean, I saw it coming. I said, "This is
true." There's just a lot of thing around. Yeah. Sorry.
No, you go first.
People,
you go first. Yeah.
I guess people just don't know how to react to that update yet. Like, should we start preparing for it, or should we just react after August 17th and just see if there will be like changes in performance? Some in my other agency, they were like trying to get ahead of it by preparing, like they've got a sheet and then they're just
interesting.
Like planning they're planning when to adjust the budgets prior to the update. So they're like, if we're hitting 15 ROAS now and the target is 10, then we should set the target ROAS now to 15.
No.
So once the change, once it's rolled out, we're gonna maintain the 15 ROAS. So
yeah,
I don't
very
know
interesting.
exactly. Yeah.
So how I'm gonna react to it is I'm not going to move until I see how it plays out.
I agree. Same for me.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, because we know, because of the time we've been in the industry, that sometimes it's overblown, sometimes doesn't make a difference. I'm gonna have to monitor the CTR and my what I call top impression and absolute top impression. I'm gonna have a look at that. Yeah, because like, even with things like scores and keyword scores and all that, I never pay that much attention to that, because if it's converting, it's converting. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. So depends. But I appreciate there's people out there already preparing with spreadsheets and all that. So yeah, it's cool. Yeah. I have to keep my eye on this one. Another thing I was gonna say is that, how Google, so I saw this thing the other day because I'm, playing my MMORPGs, and that World of Warcraft and some other game, they used to have a second place auction. So if you were bidding $10 and the next person was bidding $3, right?
Okay.
The bid used to be $3.01, and the $3 guy goes to the lower bid. So if you have somewhere 10, 3, and 1, right? The first bidder becomes $3.01. The second bidder becomes $1.01, and the third bidder becomes whatever the next one is. It's got second place auction. Google was on that for a long time, and then they changed it because they're missing all this money, right? They're missing that $7 right in the middle. Yeah, so I think that was already not positive for Google, because that was a fair system. I think that's already not positive for the system when automated bidding came out, PMax came out. all of that went away. And now this move is detrimental to advertisers. Very good for Google, but it's very bad for us.
Yeah, we'll just see how it
Yeah,
how
we
will
just have
affect the
to
campaigns. Yeah,
we just have to
we'll
wait it out.
maybe post an
Yeah.
update on that once it's rolled out, or yeah, we could
Yep.
discuss about it too. Yep.
Yep. So I think the actionable for our audience, if anyone listening, is August 17th is the big day for it.
Yeah.
So check that one out. All right. So the next one I wanted to quickly show is, all right. So this is actually helpful. So Google Merchant Center, I swear, man, has got the biggest buffs over the last, like, I want to say 6 months. They're revamping everything. And one of the things, I don't have it on any of my accounts yet, is they're making AI visibility visible on the products tab. So there's going to be organic, there's going to be ads, and there's going to be AI. So for anyone who's watching this, I'm showing a screenshot right now of what that looks like. Yeah.
Okay.
So I think definitely keep an eye on that one. Yeah. So let me just stop sharing. Next one. Oh, and this morning reported by Glenn Gabe this morning that ChatGPT has done a agreement with Yelp. So now ChatGPT has access to Yelp's all reviews officially, like contract. So they'll be able to.
Wow.
So I'm gonna get my business on Yelp and get some reviews there.
Okay.
Cover that base
Alright.
as well. Yeah. Cool. What about you? Anything else on your end for that?
No, I haven't tested ChatGPT ads yet until now.
Oh, I have. We are
How's
now.
how is it going for you?
It's alright. It's got it's really it's very restrictive. You can only go for country. You can't go location. And, yeah, and I think the CPC is okay. The Pixel is really hard to install. Oh, it's not hard to install. It's clunky. Conversion action is clunky. You're gonna need a dev to play around with it. So if you have a dev on your team, do it.
Yeah.
I still think that the only reason I'm doing is so that so I can get crawled.
Yeah.
I don't even know if that's a term. Is that a thing? Crawl, getting crawled? Should be, right? You know, crawled, as in like you crawls your website and finds out what your website's about to make sure it's legit. So if you run ads, then they are forced to crawl it, right? To make sure it's legit.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, but every week I've been like receiving updates on ChatGPT ads. Like now there's like negative keywords available, and previously was not available.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What,
things
negative
like that.
keywords are already available?
Yeah, I think
Oh,
I've
cool.
seen it
I'll
somewhere.
look into that. I haven't been,
Yeah.
I haven't been looking at it. So I'll have to look at it. That's going to be really valuable because I'm going to be using it. I have a client who, we are now on 3 clients that's on ChatGPT ads. We have a 4th one that's going to start pretty big on it soon. So I'll keep you posted if that ever happens. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
Let me share my screen. All right. So just a couple of quick, I guess, community announcement in the PPC world. Google Ad Passes, everyone would have got that. So everyone should sign up to that, I think. That's going to be mandatory. Instead of the password, they're going to do passkeys.
Passkey. Yeah.
Yeah. The DSA, auto migration. I don't know if you want to talk about that, but there's nothing really there. They just...
Nah, it has
I don't
been
use DSA.
supposed
You like
to-
DSA more than me.
Before, yeah. It was supposed to end
Yeah.
like I think September, and now it was pushed back to February next year. So
To February. Yeah. Google is also coming up with another tab to show the growth estimates that's missed. I've seen it. I mean, I just think that this is another tactic for Google to create a bit of divide, to wedge a knife between the client and the agency.
I agree. Yeah.
Because then you get more conversation with a Google rep.
True.
And Google rep can...
And then, client might interpret that as something. Okay, you're not doing your job.
Yeah, correct. That's right.
Yeah.
And maybe get us to press a few
True.
more order recommendations.
It should
Yeah.
also lure the newbies. Like, okay, there are some things that I have not been doing. But for us who've been doing it for long, it's like, I'm
Yeah.
not paying attention to that. Yeah.
Yeah, nah, not as much. AI performance explanations in campaign overview. So I've seen that the last week, 2 weeks ago, we showed a screenshot of that. But I will say something that's the Claude. You probably seen in LinkedIn or the Claude AI Google Ad skills. Have you seen those posts when people are doing their connecting
yeah.
the MCP environment
Yeah.
and quick querying it?
Yeah, yeah.
I think that has merit. I think that's actually pretty useful. Yeah. So we're trying some of that. So basically, we've connected it. We've given a context document, etc. And we've asked we just typed into the window to say, come up with 10 optimization, not strategy a bad word, 10 actionable optimizations that we can execute now for this account, given all the contacts that you've been given. And then what's come out of it is maybe 3 or 4 pretty useful cards. So yeah, so discernment is definitely needed. So that's what we've been doing. So that's what we're doing across all the accounts. We are going to start doing that across all the accounts. And it's taking in factors that takes a long time if we had to do it manually.
That's nice. I mean, I also use that in like one or a couple of clients, and I've integrated it with negative keywords. And I'm like, so we do have like a couple of projects per client, and then we've created the negative keyword skill, and that Google MCP something, it's connected to Claude. And I'm just like gonna go to the project and then identify negative keywords for the past 7 days, and it's gonna populate suggestions. Yeah. So again, it's up to us to review if we're gonna upload it or not. Those are just suggestions, but it saves time.
Saves so much time. Yeah. So where does our role become then as this get better? This is a more philosophical question, but like, does it mean that we should just drive more accounts and bring the costs down?
That would be, I think, the effect of it. Since you have AI to support you, that means you could handle more accounts.
Be more competitive.
Be more competitive. Because,
do some other things with the time.
True. Yeah. So you're also gonna have like less excuse why things are
things are not working.
Completed. Yeah.
So. That's true. I mean, like right now, I think we're in an interesting spot in the world of PPC and digital marketing, because I can tell you now, like, it's not attractive for people to get into the industry.
I agree.
So if that's the case, there's like whoever the can win the game that's already in there is gonna dominate, right? So that's what I
agree.
think.
Yeah. It's going to be hard for the ones who'd want to get in, because they'll be learning things with AI help now, and they wouldn't understand like how
the mechanics
exactly. The mechanics.
The mechanics of it. How can you like, if AI comes out recommendation, it goes, all right, so increase this from $3 to $10. Like, you're not gonna know that you need to bring the budget up with the, you know what I mean? You need to know what to monitor the personality. There's no way for them to know. So it's a really, really tough game. All right, back to my window.
Now, though. What would happen to the next generation of like advertisers? Like, are we the last set of
I wrote about
managers?
That. I wrote about that. I think the role of the PPC, the media buyer, has changed completely. I think for anyone to come out to do it, they just have to be able to do the full stack funnel. Right. So they have to be able to be platform agnostic. They have to know more, and they have to be at a place where they're just going to have to take some losses on particular platforms and just deal with the fact that we didn't get that perfect. But it was good enough for what we know and where the time was spent elsewhere. I think that's what they had to do. Okay. Same as I think as devs, because if you think about it, like, how can devs survive? Like, if like me and you's vibe coding, right? But we'll never beat a real dev who's got those tools and who knew how to code from the beginning. We will never beat him. So me and you, I think we just being like, or anyone who knows what they're doing in PPC is become more formidable with these tools. You think about the people that came up with those apps, like the what are some of those apps that's called? Like people like Mike Rhodes, people like the guy that created that guy Optimizer, and he's Optio. Do you know what I mean? Glenn Gabe. You're talking about like Hannah, Adrian, Decker. Like they're gone. You never catch them now. You know what I mean? Like Kirk and them, you never catch them. Like everything that they know and the way they've manipulated the context files and the way they can teach it, you got no chance. We got no chance. How people gonna catch up to them now? So cool.
No.
All right, let's keep going. LSA migrate to Google Ads. Can't remember what this one was about.
PMax.
Oh, LSA. Yes, I
Interesting.
want to talk
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah.
Local service ads.
Yeah, yeah.
You have them. I don't have them. Do you still do them?
No, not anymore.
Okay, cool.
Because my clients are all in Australia right now.
Okay, cool. All right. Yeah, because they don't have that. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if they you will come to Australia, but now that it looks like it's a bit of a sunsetting. They're folding into the rest of the PMax. So it's a failure.
Interesting.
It's a fail.
But I'm curious how they're gonna like roll that out, because LSA before is focused on calls only as the conversion action, like it only counts actual phone calls
And lead forms, right? Phone call lead forms or no?
No, just
Just
the
phone
last
calls?
time I managed it, it was
Yeah.
years ago. So
Yeah.
just phone calls, I think, because it's the purpose of that show ads to people who want
Right to
immediate
the call.
contact. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you can also like check the call duration and stuff. It's
okay.
there.
Right.
Yeah.
I think I
it's
was close to managing one, but we never ended up doing it for them. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So I would say that I'm glad I didn't jump on this wagon, because look what happened to the wagon. So
Oh,
yeah.
did you ever came across call only ads
Yep.
before?
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Lawyers
okay.
and stuff. Yeah, we did a
Alright.
lot of that. Yeah.
And it was
Locksmith.
Sunset. Yeah,
Yeah.
something. It's pretty similar to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, for LSA, but you only pay per lead, not
Yeah.
per click or something. Yeah.
Must be my bias, because I just heard more and more. Like all I heard was like people having problem with it. People have fighting over the quality of leads, and
Yeah.
with negative comments. A lot of negative comments about like that thing, and that some businesses stake their everything on there, right? Like they were LSA
Yeah.
specials. Yeah, I'm glad. Look,
True,
I'm glad I didn't do it. I hope whoever's doing it have worked it out and made a lot of money from it, and that you can continue making your money through PMax.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Because that's where it's going to now. Google Ads lead section. So Google lead sections is quite interesting. We talked about the CRM being Google is becoming more of a CRM and holding the leads information now, which is
Powerful.
Google hosts are very powerful. Yeah. So GMC, we talked about GMC's insights, which I showed a screenshot for. And this one, I want to talk about this one, the AI mode ads. It's official now in Australia too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But really, matching
Yeah.
the source cited.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah, so I think it's we ads have wrecked it again. So it's in AI mode now.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they are saying that the only way you can get in there is if we were using AI Max. Which
I
I'm
see.
starting to use.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's
Jeremy
actually
Yang is using AI Max.
it's actually very good for the campaigns.
yeah.
I'm
Okay.
surprised how good it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you checked the search terms report
Yep.
yet?
Yep.
Okay.
I
That's
mean,
nice.
we do the same thing as you. We got the scripts from Mike Rhodes that automatically pulls out all the bad ones. Like I still have to go bang out it, but we have the scripts. And surprisingly, it's giving us good results. The CPC is high as shit.
Oh, really?
The CPC is crazy high. Like we're talking about like 3 times the normal CPC. But
Yeah,
it's
it
converting.
has helped some of my accounts too. Yeah, converting better after it was turned on. Yeah, but not all of the accounts. I've noticed that if you turn it on for brand search, it's not a good thing.
Oh, it's
it
weird.
will not-
Yeah.
Not on brand search, because it's gonna attract non-branded
Oh,
terms
okay.
into the
Oh,
brand
I
search
see.
campaign.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it defeats the purpose.
Yeah.
So maybe just if you're hesitant, whoever is hesitant to test it, maybe test it with your
Non-brand.
non-brand, and then maybe non-performing campaign before you pause it. I've tested it recently, like in another account. Non-performing campaign, about to pause it. Turned AI Max on. 2 weeks into it, it's started getting conversions at lower cost per lead, which is really interesting. Yeah.
Good. Okay, cool. That's good to know.
Yeah.
I think that you're the first one that started talking about the guardrails on the show. Well, on this show, you were talking about guardrails
yeah, the
before I even heard about the
guardrails,
guardrails. No, actually, I talk about guardrails, but I never got that information. You were the first one to show me what that looks like. And then I started asking for it more and
Okay.
more. And then I started getting like people, well, I mean, it's widespread now, the guardrails. So anyone's listening,
Yeah.
guardrails is a thing. So if you talk to there's annoying people, Google Ads people that calls you, if they're from
Yeah.
the country, like the big five, like Australia, USA, Singapore, those countries, they're all right. They have guardrail skills.
Yeah.
They can provide
100%
something called a
agree. Yeah.
guardrail. And then when it's basically a spreadsheet that you put into your Google Ads account, and that is useful. Yeah, for your AR Max. Yeah.
Have you tried turning on the final customization for your
Yeah,
campaigns,
with the
or just
texting.
turning on AI Max? Oh,
No,
amazing.
no, I have, yeah.
Oh,
For
you have. Oh,
e-commerce, but
cool.
it's
I
e-commerce,
just
but
couldn't.
can't do it.
Yeah. I couldn't believe you're open to testing that. I
I
was
had
like,
to.
oh, JY is not gonna.
Oh no, I'm slow with this stuff. I still got campaigns
Yeah.
on manual CPC. I still have, okay, yeah, I don't care. I'll fight with the clients all day to tell them why I have to have it on manual CPC. Yeah. But no, I've had to do it. But the guardrail is really helpful though, because it stops all the
I
rubbish
agree.
from coming in. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's easy for them to like get that information, so make use of it. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think they ChatGPT as well. And I mean, like we were doing it for a
Maybe,
lawyer account,
yeah.
and they were just they
Yeah.
were sharing screen and they were deleting the other lawyers' names.
That makes sense.
Yeah, they're going around. They got agenda to fill. But
I see.
their biggest agenda at the moment is the August 17th. They try to get buying for it.
Yeah.
They just try to get everyone ready for it. Okay, cool. All right. So our last bit. Well, this episode is running longer than I thought it would. Let me just have a quick look. Oh, for Meta, I'm not sure if you're interested in that stuff. The audience labels. That has been a super helpful one. So basically, when you're going Meta Ads account and you're creating an audience, now you can match a label to that audience to tell Meta what it is that you're actually creating. Whether it's somebody who's a qualified lead, whether somebody who has unsubscribed, whether you can upload a customer list and say these people, don't target these people, whether it's somebody who's purchased and what their purchase value are. So I think that is a good move, because before this, you basically had to just put them in and just hope that Meta worked it out.
Yeah.
Well, now you can break it down more refinement. Yeah, I'm not articulating correctly, but yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
And carousel can display as collage format, which I do not have an example of, which I'll have to get around to that. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, that was it. One of the things that we are testing is the Google Search Console allowing the integration of social media channels.
Oh, okay.
This is quite big, and touched on it last time, but yeah, that's the one thing we're looking at. Yeah,
that's really big. Yeah, because
To
you're
see the
gonna
flow.
see everything. Yeah.
But that's pretty much
Sure.
it. So, was anything else from your end?
Nah, I'm good. That's all. I guess, as you've mentioned, the biggest thing is that August 17 update. So we're gonna provide update on that one as well.
On the next in
it's
2
gonna
weeks from
affect
now.
our campaigns.
Is it gonna? Would it have started already or not yet? The next one? Nah, not yet.
Let me check.
That's only the
not yet.
7th. Yeah. So
Probably
next,
after
the,
that,
so the next show on the 7th, we're not going to talk about it yet, and then on the 21st
Yep.
is when the big thing
21st.
going to go.
Yeah,
Cool.
sure.
And I'll try to wrap up some experiments we've been doing, so we can have something useful to report on the next show.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
All right.
Amazing. So so that's this episode on the 24th of July. I'm with my co-host Frances Suarez, the best PPC person that I know. And if she give her a call, give her a message on LinkedIn if you are not happy with her current manager, to see if she's something she can help you with. And we do want probably somebody who's in the SEO, AEO, geo space to chime in on as well on what they're up to.
Yep. Sure.
Cool. Sounds
And
good.
then maybe we could discuss like how it actually affects, channels
Big
and
time.
whatever they're doing. Yeah.
We want to dispel the myth of like there's just too much misinformation out there.
True.
So we want someone who's on the ground, just like me and you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
All right.
we just have to wish on it for now, and then see what comes up. Keep an eye on it for it.
Yep.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right.
Another episode.
Thank
See
you.
yous.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey, what's up? Jeremy Yang, the online ads guy here. owner of Digital Goliath Marketing. If you found whatever you're watching helpful, you found it interesting, like, subscribe, comment, suggest other topics you think we should cover here. We've aimed to release weekly episodes, helping SMEs with marketing, advertising, talking to professionals about growth, processes, all that good stuff. All right, see you on the next one.